For this activity, you're going to need something to take notes with. Volunteering has three dimensions of benefits. It helps the receiver of the service, whether it's a person, group of people, or a larger concept like the environment. It helps the person who is doing the volunteering by building their skill sets or growing their network, for example. And it helps the community as a whole by addressing larger systemic issues. So I'm going to give you an example of a volunteer activity, and you have to come up with one example for each category. How does this activity benefit the receiver, the volunteer, and the community? Here's example 1. A group of students organize weekly musical performances at the local elderly care home. Think of one example of how this helps the receivers, the residents of the care home, the volunteers, the students, and the larger community. There are plenty of correct answers to this example. Maybe you said it helps the residents feel cared for and a connection, or gives them a fun social activity. You could have said it helps the volunteers improve their skills in the instrument, or improve their stage presence, or give them experience performing with the band. The community could have benefited by knowing that the old folks that they care about are being well taken care of. But once again, your answers may be completely different from mine. Now for example 2. A group of students volunteer to clean cages at an animal shelter. How does this help the receiver, the shelter, the volunteers, and the community? Once again, your answers could be completely different from mine. But I said they're helping the shelter to use their staff for other important work to take care of the animals. It helps the volunteers to have a sense of purpose and to get to spend time around the animals. And it helps the community know that if they ever lose a pet, that it will be well taken care of. Or if they adopt a pet, they have received a high standard of care. Finally, example 3. A group of students volunteer to sell tickets at a local fair. How does this benefit the receiver, the fair, the volunteers, and the community as a whole? Time's up. I'm going to share my answers, but feel free to share yours with the people around you and see how different your answers are. I wrote that it benefits the fair by reducing the cost to run the fair and increase the number of people they have on staff. It helps the volunteers to gain skills that they can put on their resume, like managing a point of sale system or showing that they've taken on responsibility. And it helps the community to be able to have these fairs regularly because volunteers help to keep the costs down and the activities running smoothly. Thanks for participating in this activity. I hope it helps you to see that there are so many ways that a volunteer activity benefits everyone involved.